One of the areas that people are most concerned about when they come to see me regarding a workers' compensation injury is whether or not they can lose their job for filing a workers' compensation claim. I can tell you unequivocally that it is actually against the law for an employer to discharge you because you've filed a workers' compensation case. That was actually not always clear until a few years ago when a case was decided. The case is called Schick versus Shirey, and in that case they did determine that you cannot be discharged simply for filing a workers' compensation claim. But that's not the end of the question. The question is whether your job will be there for you when you've suffered a work injury. And unfortunately, the answer is not always yes. When you're hurt at work, you have certain rights under federal law. The Family Medical Leave Act applies to any employer that has 50 or more employees and to employees who have worked at least 1 year for that employer. If you meet that criteria, then your employer has to keep your job or a substantially similar job available to you for a period of 12 weeks. During that time, they have to continue to pay for your health insurance to the same extent they were paying for your health insurance prior to your work injury. And if you are able to return to work, they have to let you come back. After 12 weeks, though, the only protection that you have, or the only assurance that you have that your job will continue to be available, is if you have contractual rights because you signed an employment contract that specifically delineates what your rights are when you are hurt at work, or if you have a union contract, and again, the union contract may include language where the union negotiated with the management to provide a period of time during which an injured worker is guaranteed to be allowed to return to their work. But other than those two circumstances, there is no guarantee that your job will still be there once you've recovered to the point that you're able to go back to work. There are a lot of incentives, though, for your employer to continue to keep you on their books. One of those incentives is that as soon as you are able to go back to work in some capacity, then they can stop paying you workers' compensation benefits, or they can reduce the amount of workers' compensation benefits that they have to pay you based upon what work is available to you. So simply because your 12 weeks are up does not mean that you're losing your job. Simply because you filed a workers' compensation claim does not mean you are losing your job. It's important to consult with an attorney regarding the availability of your job and your ability to return to work after you've recovered. Some other topics that are affected are your pension rights, as well as your health insurance benefits and other benefits that your employment status can affect. Please make an appointment with my office today so that we can talk about how your work injury will affect your continued employment. You can also visit www.montgomerycountypaworkerscomplawyers.com.